Banger after banger.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Big Hero Grace back at you with another one. Back at you like Tony Khan making an announcement. Back at you like McDonald's messed my order up at the drive-thru. Back at you with your AEW Dynamite review. And first things first, I have to send my condolences, my thoughts to the family and friends of the Iron Sheik, who indeed has passed away today at the age of 81. Iron Sheik, wrestling legend. He came around a lot, way before my time, but the thing I remember most about the Iron Sheik is his interviews, the promos he did, and even though this wasn't really him running the Twitter page, the Iron Sheik's Twitter page, it was just constantly him hating on Hulk Hogan. That always made my day. So truly, a legend will truly be missed, man. Again, thoughts and condolences to the family and friends of the Iron Sheik. But we are here to talk about AEW Dynamite, which took place in Colorado. I forget which part of Colorado, but took place in Colorado. And this is an overall good show. Top to bottom, overall good show. Some good matches, some good storytelling, some good promos. Gotta kick it off, of course, is AEW Dynamite. So we gotta kick it off with Orange Cassidy defending his All-Atlantic Championship against Swerve. Now, a lot of people, myself included, were thinking that tonight would be the night Swerve will finally be the one that defeats Orange Cassidy, and that wasn't the case. Now, a lot of times when Orange Cassidy beats somebody, it's on to the next one, but it looks like this story is continuing because after the match, you had the Mogul Embassy attacking Orange Cassidy, and then the lights go out. And it was funny because you heard someone yell, "Who is it? Who is it gonna be? Who is it?" It was Darby Allin and his father Sting. They made the save for Orange Cassidy. So next week is going to be an 8-man tag match. The Mogul Embassy taking on the team of Darby Allin, Sting, Orange Cassidy, and Keith Lee. For some reason, they are continuing this Keith Lee versus Swerve feud. I thought this would have been done by now. I thought we would have moved on to something else for both men. But apparently that's not the case. They're going to continue the whole Swerve versus Keith Lee situation. I mean, at this point, man, it is what it is. I mean, hopefully we'll get this blow-off match eventually before Christmas comes, before Jesus comes back, before the end of the time, before the multiverse implodes and falls apart. Next up, we had a 6-man tag or a trios match between the Blackpool Combat Club and Chaos. That's Best Friends and Rocky Romero taking on the team of John Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, and Claudio Cesaro. And for what it was worth, it was an okay match. It was pretty solid. It's really like more of a vehicle building towards the match between Okada and Bryan Danielson, because you have Okada's group in Chaos taking on Bryan Danielson's group in the BCC. And of course, the BCC won. Wheeler Yuta has been the man these past couple weeks, being the man that gets the big wins for the BCC at the end of the day, getting those pin covers, being that guy. So he's really stepping up and leveling up his game. And of course, we get Bryan Danielson on commentary. You can't ever go wrong with Bryan Danielson on commentary. I absolutely love Bryan Danielson on commentary. I wish he would talk about his experience with wrestling bears a little bit more. But we're all riding our own horses. It is what it is at the end of the day. But yeah, man, BCC ended up winning. After the match, you had a backstage promo from the Young Bucks, Adam Page and the Young Bucks, issuing the challenge. Next week is going to be the Elite, Adam Page and the Young Bucks taking on the BCC. And Bryan Danielson ended up accepting the challenge on behalf of the BCC. Bryan Danielson said that they're pretty much going to end the Elite. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe Kenny Omega returns. Maybe he returns with a friend, with a +1. Who knows? Maybe he comes back with Okada. I don't know. Who knows? Only time will tell. We have to wait for next week. All right. So next up, we had the promo battle between Adam Cole and MJF. Now, MJF came out first. did his normal MJF gimmick, man, running down the city, saying this town sucks, saying how he's the best champion ever, and he's better than all of you, and blah, 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 and there's no competition. And then Adam Cole came out, and then right before Adam Cole's about to do the Adam Cole baby, MJF shuts the whole thing down, cuts him off, starts cooking him a little bit. MJF even did the whole Adam Cole promo that Adam Cole did on to Karrion Kross back in the NXT days. MJF started cooking a little bit, kind of, you know, he kind of did the thing where he just where it looked like he just went on Twitter and Reddit and Jim Cornette's podcast and took all the negative things that they say about Adam Cole and just regurgitated it, put his little MJF flavor on it, talked about how he's undersized and how he looks like a crack whore and and how he plays video games and how his girlfriend's better and blah blah blah. And you know, and it was entertaining, but it was kind of like, I know exactly what it is that you're doing, MJF. You're not slick, you're not fooling nobody, but you're dealing with Adam Cole. Adam Cole is one of the best promos in the game right now. So Adam Cole pretty much clamped back at MJF, said that he's a paper champion, nobody respects him, his fiance left him, you know, typical stuff. Pretty much laying out the challenge that he wants to face MJF for the AEW championship. And MJF was kind of hesitant at first. He was kind of like, nah, I ain't doing it. And then, you know, through trickery and mind games, he got MJF to agree to the challenge. So I was under the impression that Adam Cole said, anytime, any place, you and me, AEW championship. Later in the night, it was announced that Adam Cole and MJF will wrestle next week in a championship eliminator match. And how these normally go is, if Adam Cole can beat MJF, he'll be the number one contender and he'll face MJF whenever, wherever, for the AEW championship. And I was kind of confused by this because I was like, I thought MJF accepted the challenge. Now, if they explain this as like MJF kind of set it up, so it's kind of like a roadblock, so it makes it more difficult for Adam Cole to get a title shot, okay. But they didn't really lay it out like that. It's always going to be a championship eliminator match. So we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. Hopefully Adam Cole wins. But then if that happens, that means Adam Cole has to beat MJF twice. And that's the thing I kind of don't like about these eliminator matches. Because if you beat the champion, that means you have to beat the champion again. So you have to beat the champion to get a championship shot at the champion that you have to beat again. And I don't like those. I don't like it when WWE does it. I'm not really too much of a fan of it when AEW does it. But we just got to wait and see how this goes. Overall entertaining segment between these two. Can't wait to see what they have cooked up next. Entertaining stuff. And then we go from that to a backstage segment from the Hardy Boys and Ethan Page. And pretty much going over the whole contract situation. And it seems like every time Matt Hardy has a storyline, it always has something to do with someone's contract. Either it's his contract or someone else's contract. I'm like, are you just a contract merchant? Like, I don't get the whole contract lore, but you know, whatever. It is what it is. We go on from that to a Texas Tornado tag match. No holds barred, anything goes. Jungle Hook taking on LFI. And this was a really entertaining match. There was blood and cables and a steel chain. Jungle Hook ended up winning. There was even one spot where Hook did a suplex on what's the white boy's name? Preston Vance, from the ring apron to the tables outside. That was a pretty cool spot. He was busted open heavy, like he was bleeding all over the place. His blood was all over Hook. That looked pretty badass. There was even one spot where Jose, the assistant, was in the ring, and Jungle Boy had the steel chair, and Hook was behind Jose. And I'm thinking, all right, is this the spot where Jungle Boy hits Hook? It didn't happen. So it looks like they're kind of teasing a heel turn from Jungle Boy. But then again, we don't know, man. This might be a red herring just to kind of throw us off. But me personally, I feel like Jungle Boy is going to turn heel eventually. When and where, I don't know. But another thing we just got to wait and see for. Something else we have to wait and see. We have another special announcement. And I got to talk about this real quick. I got to speak on this. Because last week I said, listen, I understand the whole special announcement thing. I understand that you have to announce CM Punk it makes sense because CM Punk is one of the biggest stars in AEW, and you want to move merchandise, not necessarily merchandise, but you want to move the ticket sales for Collision. I understand that. Makes total sense. But I said this last week, Tony Khan, let's chill out with the special announcements. And what do? Give us another special announcement. Now, granted, this special announcement was pretty cool. It was setting up for the first main event of Collision. But I'm like, bro, come on now. Now, the match that they ended up setting up is a trios match between Bullet Club Gold and Samoa Joe taking on the team of FTR and CM Punk in a 6-man tag match. Now, the announcement itself is cool, but you could have had Excalibur do that. I understand you want to make it feel special because it's the first main event for Collision, but you could have just had Excalibur do it, man, when he's announcing all the matches for Rampage and Dynamite. And then you could have said, from the desk of Tony Khan, we have the main event for Collision and blah, 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 or whatever, instead of it being a special announcement. We've had 5 weeks of special announcements in a row. 5 weeks! Special announcements! I'm tired of special announcements. The reason they're called special announcements is they feel special when you announce them. When you announce a special announcement for 5 weeks straight, every week, it doesn't feel special anymore. So let's chill out with the special announcements. Please, for my sanity, for the love of God, please, chill out with the special announcements. That being said, that is a pretty cool main event. Pretty cool trios match. You got to see CM Punk and his buddies FTR teaming up again, so I ain't mad at it. We'll get into a little bit more with the Bullet Club later when we talk about the main event for Dynamite. But moving on from that, we have Takeshita wrestling some dude. I don't even know what this dude's name was. But we have Takeshita, who's a bad guy now. He's a heel. Coming out with Don Callis. Coming out with no music. Coming out with that heel Tommaso Ciampa entrance, where it's just no music. It's just the boos and the jeering from the AEW Galaxy. After the match, Takeshita won the squash match. What else did you expect? But after the match, they kind of recreated the heat spot from last week, where Don Callis talks and the crowd boos, and then you have Takeshita talk and the crowd boos. It wasn't as loud as last week, but it was still really loud. Like, you really couldn't hear what Don Callis had to say. They were just booing him out the building, pretty much saying the same thing from last week. We're gonna destroy Kenny Omega. And one thing Don Callis keeps mentioning is his family is going to destroy Kenny Omega. Now, when I hear family, there's only one family I think of, and that's the family from Fast and Furious. So I'm automatically assuming that Vin Diesel is going to help Don Callis destroy Kenny Omega. Because when you think of family, you think of Fast and Furious, you think of Vin Diesel, you think of Dominic Toretto. So you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Vin Diesel helping Takeshita, helping Don Callis, bald people helping out each other. Absolutely love to see it. So now it looks like the whole Christian Cage and Wardlow thing is continuing. Yeah, Christian Cage cutting a promo backstage, talking about how Arn Anderson cost Christian the TNT Championship. Christian saying he still wants that TNT Championship, so he's gonna do whatever it takes to get his hands on it again, even if that means beating up Arn Anderson's poor son. Oh, what's his face? Poor Brock, looking like an accountant, looking like he should be working a desk job, but he's a wrestler. He is Arn Anderson's son. He got his cheeks clamped by Luchasaurus in the back, got beat up. So it looks like that feud is continuing. Good for them. Hopefully this next go around, Christian Cage actually does win the TNT Championship. If not, whatever it is, what it is. Speaking of it is what it is, we have your weekly one women's match of the week for this episode of Dynamite. You had NJAS taking on Chris Statlander for the TBS Championship. And for what it was worth, this was a pretty entertaining match. Daddy Magic had on the 8-ball jacket from Seinfeld, like David Putty, so that made me chuckle a little bit. Chris Statlander ended up winning. Pretty solid match. Not too much to write home about. It is what it is. Speaking of the women, you have the Outcast speaking, and this Friday on Rampage, it's going to be a fatal 4-way to determine who will be the number one contender to see who faces Toni Storm next week. It's going to be Nyla Rose taking on Sky Blue, taking on Mercedes Martinez, taking on Dr. Britt Baker DMD. Now, I wonder who's going to win. Surely it's going to be Mercedes Martinez. That's the logical choice, right? It's going to be Britt Baker. Britt Baker is going to face Tony Storm next week, most likely. Should be an entertaining match. Will Britt Baker win? Probably not, but the match should be fine, so cool. Now for the main event, man, we have Ricky Starks taking on Jay White in a match where Bullet Club, and by Bullet Club I mean Juice Robinson, is banned, and you have FTR, who is also banned, which means that somebody had to come out and help Jay White, and that somebody was Colton and Austin Gunn, the Guns, aka the Ass Boys. Now initially I was like, does this mean that they're in Bullet Club now? But when I started thinking about it, it kind of makes sense, because you had the Guns, who lost their tag team titles to FTR who's in cahoots with Ricky Starks, so it kind of makes sense. I can't even lie though, it would be pretty funny seeing Billy Gunn's two sons joining the Bullet Club Gold. That would be pretty funny. But as far as the match between Ricky Starks and Jay White, it was a good match. Jay White won due to outside interference from the Ass Boys. Solid main event. Jay White is going on to the main event Collision, taking on CM Punk along with Samoa Joe and Juice Robinson. So pretty solid stuff. Pretty solid show from Dynamite, man. Good stuff all around. Entertaining show. It gets the honorary W. Can't wait to see what happens next week, man. But I would love to hear you guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Of course, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. You guys take care. Bees, I'm out. Peace. Rest in peace, Iron Sheik. F the Hulk Hogan.